What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome to The Corner, presented by the Pierce County Community Engagement Task Force, powered by Workforce Central. I am one of your hosts, Tamar Jackson, better known as the Mayor of Loop City.
And I'm the other host, Jeff Wolf, AKA the City Manager. Tamar, tell us why this is important.
You know what? The Corner is a collaborative segment where we, as Workforce Central, choose to highlight those doing great work in the community, great partners, great community members, great organizations. We really felt that in order to rebuild this community, we had to reintroduce the community.
Absolutely. And today, we have the pleasure of having Sound Outreach on the show. We've had a lot of people ask to collaborate with them in the past, and so we wanted to bring them on and talk to them a little bit. We have Mr. Tim Jumper, the manager of community engagement and also co-lead of the task force. He's one of our leaders, and his co-partner, James Taylor, who is the director of financial counseling over there at Sound Outreach. Welcome, fellas.
Hey, thank you.
Have you?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Why don't we start off with having you both tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of how you got here, just on a little bit more personal level, until we jump into Sound Outreach.
It sounds good to me. I can start it off. So my name's Tim Jumper. I'm a Tacoma transplant. I've been here at Sound Outreach for about 5 years. I've served in a variety of different roles at Sound Outreach, from employment specialist to director of Center for Strong Families, and now I'm the manager of community engagement there. I just enjoy really putting in the hard work and doing whatever it takes to represent the best interests of our clients and our community as a whole. So thank you for having me.
I'm James Taylor, the Director of Financial Counseling at Sound Outreach. I've been in that role for about 2 years now, and I joined Sound Outreach simply because I wanted to kind of pay forward the results of some financial mentoring that I got when I was much younger and changed the course of my life a bit. So I wanted to be involved in an organization that was helping others to make that same change.
Right on, man. A lot of great stuff. Very excited to have both of you guys here. You know, Tim, we know, especially with working with you, you're passionate about this community, the passion about change from young adults, financial literacy, education, all those things are very impactful to you. But what did you find helpful, and this is two-part to you, what did you find helpful about the task force that really has helped you in what you do professionally?
Wow, that's a great question. I think I really just appreciate the role that the task force plays in bringing us all together as a community. I mean, I go out of my way, to help because I know they'll do the exact same for me. But I really just love this group. We call it the squad because they just get it, right? It's just a natural extension of all the lessons that we learned early on when we were introducing the Center for Strong Families to the community. We were just talking about all those same things, right? Kind of working together to build capacity, creating an environment with less competitiveness and more collaboration. We really learned how to share best practices and, kind of break down those barriers and pool our resources, create great relationships. And this is just really, natural progression and a great next step to the work that we're doing. But I just love what we're doing, and I love the people that we're working with because, there's no egos there. It's just a scenario where we can all win. I feel really connected to the community. I feel really supported by everybody in the task force. And I really do benefit, from all the collective efforts of the group. So, is it an investment? Is it work? Sure it is. I put a lot into my work with the task force, but, do you see big rewards in a big way? I absolutely see the rewards as well. So I've been having a good time working with the group.
Right on. Thanks for that.
The squad,
Yeah.
That's what we are.
You know it.
Hey, before we jump into Sound Outreach, I just wanted to touch on kind of what your relationship is with the Hilltop community. Tim, maybe you can give us an idea on that.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, when I was introducing myself, I've been here about 5 years, and it seems like it was just yesterday when I was introduced to the Hilltop community. I didn't know a lot about it, but I remember I heard a quote, and they said that what does it say? Prescription without diagnosis is malpractice. So I told myself I was really, really going to dig in and learn about the Hilltop and become a part of the Hilltop so I could really help the Hilltop. And that's exactly what I've done. Sometimes, we're slowly thinking about trying to get back into the offices, aren't quite sure what's going on with COVID protocol and everything like that right now. But I was just down there the other day, and it's just great to be able to kind of walk down the streets of MLK and see people who have come through your program, people who have, gotten themselves into a better situation as a result of our employment coaching or our financial counseling, and just building a relationship with those individuals. So, we can easily go on our database and look at all the people that we've connected with over the years, but it's good to be a part of that community and be able to, kind of just see the people who we've worked with, made a change and made a difference in their life. So that's very gratifying as well.
Oh, I love that, man. I love that. And, I don't want to leave James out. It's been the Tim show, but I got to bring James in. That's the sidekick, So, James, man, over the last year, I know we've been in COVID, and, and this is for James. This is for you, specifically, over the last year through COVID and everything, especially with the work that you do, the passion that you have for this community. What did you find difficult? What did you find difficult? What was the mechanism that kept you going? So when it was that time to come back out, you were ready for that.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think what I found most difficult is knowing that as we were no longer able to meet with our clients face to face, to sit across the table from someone and ask them questions about how their finances are going and what their goals are, we had to move virtually, and we were able to make that transition, I think, fairly smoothly. But it's always going to leave some people out, unfortunately. Individuals without the needed technology, or who don't feel comfortable meeting with someone that they haven't met face to face with before. And I think the hardest part is just coming to terms with the fact that we're not reaching everyone in the community because the health situation being what it is, it's just closed some certain doors for us in terms of reaching out to people. And I'm very much looking forward to the day when we can safely sit across tables from folks again and go over their finances. But what has kept me going in spite of some of those challenges are just the stories of the impact that we're having in the midst of kind of unprecedented times. So I love hearing from our clients about how they've met some of their financial goals, how they've improved their credit, how they were worried that they were going to get evicted from their apartment, but found a way to work with their landlord, come up with arrangements to keep themselves housed, how people have found jobs in a very tough market at times. And I know that we're still having the impact, and I just hope we can return to being able to meet in person soon.
Right on. Thanks for that.
I think we're all waiting for that, right?
Definitely, yes.
Well, let's dive into the program. Let's figure out kind of what you guys do, and so everybody can understand it a little bit better. So what does your program bring to the community? We'll start with Tim.
All right, sounds good. Sound Outreach, I think, really brings a lot to the table, really brings a lot to the community. We're a big part of the Hilltop landscape, as I described, and we've been there for quite a while. I always explain our work with just using 4 words: financial stability and economic mobility. So for a very long time, we've done a very good job of providing financial counseling. And when I arrived at Sound Outreach, we picked up a model called integrated service delivery, where we started, where we simply added employment coaching and income supports to the great work that we were doing around finances. So it really shifted our focus to increasing people's income, decreasing their debt, and increasing their credit scores. So we were keeping a good eye on those things, along with about 60 other metrics that we were following. But we really do take like a data-driven, relationship-based approach to helping improve our clients' level of self-sufficiency and their overall financial wellness. So we also help to improve access to credit products, and get more people into training programs, or get them back into school, or help people with starting small businesses. You name it. We really do a lot of those things. And if the person is a good fit for Sound Outreach and our services, then we really do kind of just tailor that approach to figure them out and figure out how we can best help that individual.
Perfect. What about you, James?
Yeah, I think what we offer to the community is something that's sorely needed. If you have $1 million to invest, it's not hard to get good quality financial advice. And if you log on to YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, it's not hard to get some really, truly terrible financial advice. So I think what's rare is for individuals that don't have tons and tons of money to throw around to be able to reach out to someone and get the help that they need, get their questions answered, and get a plan together. And that's really what Sound Outreach is able to provide, whether you're looking for employment or you're looking for a way to improve your finances. And we're able to do that in a private, confidential, non-judgmental manner for everyone. And really just keeping financial advice that's sound and professional within the reach of everyone in our community. And I think that's really what we strive to do. And we're part of a network with similar-minded organizations like Goodwill, Tacoma Housing Authority, Clover Park Technical College, and a couple others that are all providing this financial counseling and coaching free of charge to anyone in the community that needs it. And it's so desperately needed right now.
Yes, no, definitely. I love that. And, you know, it's so crazy, Jeff. We didn't even have to name drop. James was name dropping for us. He had a bunch of members of the task force on the list with them. So I love that. So, you know, just looking at what you guys are doing for the community, I love the thought of, you know, how you guys are looking and approaching to educating financially. You know, what does it look like as far as in you guys really pushing out to other communities? You know, are we going all over Pierce County? What's that looking like? Are we revving it up now, you know, that we're starting to sort of try to come out of COVID? You know, are there other communities that you guys haven't got to reach yet that, you know, should be on the lookout that you guys are coming?
Yeah, we recently have been able to expand into some new areas. So historically, we've been focused primarily on Pierce County, but we're now starting to move into Southern King County as well with our new federal way-based program. And we're currently hiring for some new positions to open an office in Sumner as well. So if anyone watching this knows of someone that would be interested, we're still accepting resumes as of today, at least. And so we're able to get into some new communities where we haven't been before. But there are always segments of the Pierce County and King County community that we just haven't been able to reach appropriately. And we're always looking for partners that can help us to meet the needs of underserved individuals that live here. So if there are any ideas of anyone that's watching this that, you know, they have an ongoing program, but maybe financial counseling or employment services aren't a part of that, we'd love to hear from you about how we can work together to kind of provide those services for your programs.
Love it. I've heard the Sumner one come up a couple of different times in different groups. A quick question on kind of the services you provide. Is there financial help for young adults specifically? Anything geared towards them, or is it mainly adults, or is there both?
Yeah, we certainly do offer some financial education for youth. So that means under 18 years old. So we've tried to work with schools and faith communities and civic groups to be able to provide a financial education to youth, which often, unfortunately, is not taught in schools. And it's a site-by-site basis. Some schools and some teachers are able to provide it, some others aren't. And we just want every resident of Pierce County to become adults understanding some basic things about how finances work. You know, what is a credit card? What do banks offer? How do you save money? And all those sorts of very basic things. We would love for every child to grow up knowing how to do those things. But most of our one-on-one coaching is for adults, and that's 18 and above. So, you know, most of our clients, they're working, but maybe struggling to make ends meet, and looking for help to make forward progress on their goals, get out from predatory debt, improve their credit so that they can have a wider selection of apartments that they would be able to rent, and really plan for their future.
Right on. No, I love that. I love that. Definitely would love to be able to brainstorm with you guys on, you know, how we can help educate, you know, those that are 16 to 18. You know, we all know, we've lived it. We're all adults. You know, by the time you're done and you get to 18, you know, you done got that free JCPenney's credit card that no one told you had to pay back, you know. So however we can look and try to make those things happen, I would love that. You know, when we talk about partnership, I know you guys said, you know, there's a few partners that you guys have, you know, connected with, and, you know, Tim being part of the task force, you know a lot of people as well. who's someone that's on you guys' wish list that, you guys would want to collaborate with, or, possibly even start a different program with, or, go into the community together? What does that look like? What's your wish list look like?
Yeah. Like you said, in being a part of the task force, I feel like I've got, launched to whoever it is that I need to connect with. But we've got different partners for different things at Sound Outreach. We've got certain partners for referrals. We've got certain partners for employment. We've got certain partners for workshops and things of that nature. We've got certain partners for advocacy. I just had a really good conversation with the representative of University of Puget Sound. We were talking about some great ideas on bringing together, not only the physical health aspects, to go along with that, financial health, people taking great care of themselves as they get ready to re-enter the job market. We had some really good conversations about how to, kind of address the entire person. Of course, SpaceWorks comes to mind. We've been, thinking about doing some things with their 0% micro lending program there. Maybe a great fit for a lot of the people who are starting small businesses, through Sound Outreach. Also been thinking about Vallejo and Multicultural Center. But, we've kind of teased some of those conversations, but I really do anticipate some really good things coming out of those, conversations with those, at least those four. So I'm excited about that. James, do you have a little bit more to lend to that as well?
No, I think our wish list is just, we want to have a bigger impact in our communities. So anyone who has folks that they work with that think they might benefit from financial counseling or employment counseling, that's really my wish list. Just people that take a look at the individuals they serve and realize that might be a missing element of the programs that they offer. I'd just love to hear from those program staff, caseworkers, whomever it is, that sees that gap in their own programming and wouldn't mind kind of plugging that.
Yeah, it's a pretty natural fit for us to go in and partner with people in whatever they're doing. We can add financial counseling to that mix and make it worthwhile.
Since we're talking about partnerships, maybe we can talk about a little bit building rapport with clients, partners, and community leaders. Like how do you do that, being part of the task force and trying to collaborate more now than ever?
Yeah, that's a good question. Collaboration is just like it's a perfect time for it, right? I mean, you guys know this better than anybody else. You came onto the scene, at just the right time. It feels like this task force in general is exactly what we needed to kind of galvanize the community. But I feel like I'm pretty good at rapport building as well. And, kind of just getting in there, whether it's with clients or whether it's with, our service providers or even, leadership within the community. I just feel like I got a really, really innate ability to fit in with those groups and to, kind of figure out what we need to do to partner effectively. So I hope that answers the question, but.
It definitely answers the question. I have a question, for you guys. I know that DEAI has been on the face of you guys for a little bit now. You guys have been doing a lot of work, especially over the last year when we got to see a lot of disparities, especially within organizations as they started to work with the communities and stuff. What is that DEAI journey looking like for you guys? And how are you guys really, collectively building it into all of you guys' programs, making sure that we are given access, and making things equitable all across the board? What's that looking like for you guys? And I'll go with James first. I'd love to hear his answer and his thoughts on that as you guys move to change things.
Yeah, we've been very proactive, I think, and Tim in particular leading some of these efforts. We formed a DEAI working group at our organization to make sure that we internally kind of understand the importance of making sure that our staff are providing relevant resources for everyone, that no one's being overlooked or not having the same opportunities to either work with us or work for us or work alongside of us. And Tim can certainly speak a lot more about that than I can, but we've every month during our monthly staff meetings, we've been talking about DEAI topics to make sure that we've created a plan, that we're following up on the plan that we've created, and that we're taking actionable steps towards really resolving any real or perceived inequalities within the organization and within the populations that we serve. We're very data focused and intentionally taking a look at everything to make sure that our programs are equitable in every way possible.
How about you, Tim?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add to that, James. You summarized that very, very well. I jumped on board with both Tamar and Jeff in going through a DEI certification program. Seems like about a year ago, and right after we completed those programs together, started a program at Sound Outreach. We call it So Diverse. But it's just like James said, a great working group. We've got a laundry list of things that we can brag about having accomplished over the course of the last year. Everything from creating an anti-racism statement to creating a 13-page DEI plan to hosting staff lunch and learns where we invite the entire staff, not just the people who are on the committee, but to come and sit around that training and to learn and make themselves knowledgeable about what it is that some of the goals that we're all looking to accomplish, to improve the quality and make our organization, super diverse and fair and equal. So we're having a lot of success with that program and got more great things to come.
Man, I love that. I love that, Jeff. We got to stop talking about all the stuff we doing here at Workforce Central, bro. I think Tim's snatching some stuff from us, man.
Absolutely. Man, I love to hear all that. And you're right. A year ago, we all did go on that journey. And that was, it was eye-opening for me as well. I love it. Let's move on to kind of what the community can do for you guys. And we always like to ask this because we feel like it's really important, right? Like, what is your ask of the community? How can we best support your efforts, the work you're doing? And that's not just our partners, that's the task force, that's the community in general, somebody that's watching this that just doesn't know how to connect. Like, how can we help you guys?
You want to go first, James, or me?
Sure. Yeah, I would just say, read up on the services that we provide, give us a call, ask us questions about it so that you're informed about it, because we know that just an individual picking up the phone and giving Sound Outreach a call because they're looking to make some financial changes in their life, that can be a scary thing. Reaching out to a complete stranger about highly personal things, not knowing if the person on the other end of the line knows what they're talking about, can be trusted, is confidential, isn't going to try to sell them something, isn't going to send them a bill in the mail months later that they weren't anticipating. These are the sorts of objections and barriers and obstacles that people kind of have when they're first reaching out to services. They might know that they need some help, but don't know if we're a safe and trusted place to reach out to for that help. And so anyone who's reading this or listening to this rather, if you're a caseworker and you're working with individuals, find out, do your due diligence, find out if we're the right partner for you. And if so, let those that you work with know about what we offer, because sometimes just being that warm handover, like, hey, I checked this group out and you let me know you want to improve your credit. Well, here's an organization that's able to do that. They're free, they care, they're not going to judge you. Reach out to them. That can be a really great encouragement to overcome some of those obstacles.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, in addition to that too, I just say kind of most immediately, we're looking for referrals to our Center for Strong Families program, individuals who think they may be a good fit for that program. We're also looking for any individuals receiving rental assistance. We've got a financial counselor whose sole focus is going to be working with individuals and families to avoid crisis and move them towards long-term financial stability. And I think James alluded to the fact earlier that we're also hiring for at least 3 positions right now, and those are things that you can kind of help us fill the gap on as well.
Real quick before we go tomorrow, Tim, can you touch on the Center for Strong Families? Because I know that's what's opening in Sumner. Just kind of give a brief overview of what those are for somebody that may not know.
Yeah, I just talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's based on a model of integrated service delivery or bundled services. It just goes under the assumption that, if you have a lot more chance of being successful if you're receiving financial coaching and employment coaching and access to income supports all at the same time rather than receiving those things independently, right? So if you've got a kind of a one-stop shop where you're in all those things together, where your financial coach is talking to your employment coach and you're analyzing the resources that you need to pull together to make you successful, kind of along with all the best practices and, you know, networking and training providers and all of those things, the great training that United Way of Pierce County provides for those Center for Strong Families programs, kind of just bringing all those things together, and then having individuals go through maybe a three-year process where we talked about it's a long-term relationship-based data-rich approach. So, you know, kind of just tracking your success, tracking your, you know, increases in wages, and, you know, you're making it through training programs and things of that nature. So kind of just taking a really comprehensive look at, you know, kind of taking care of the individual all the way through that process is what our Center for Strong Families programs are all about.
Right on, man. I love that. I love the idea. I love the approach. You know, I know we always talk about, you know, holistically taking care of the person, you know, navigating a person through the system over the person trying to navigate a system, you know. And I definitely love that. I love that you guys came on with us to really just talk about your programs. You know, I definitely learned some more information, even though we talk all the time. You know, I just love hearing other things, whether the expansions or how you guys are moving, implementing DEAI within you guys' organization, and really just being great partners. You know, before we get ready to get out of here, man, could you tell those that are watching, how do we contact you? You know, how do we contact you? How do we get a hold of you guys? And, you know, this is information that'll be, you know, tagged as well, but, you know, tell them how to get a hold of you too.
Yeah, James talked earlier about our website. It's soundoutreach.org. We just had some fantastic updates, so it's full of great information, and it can answer any questions that you have. But if you do have a more specific question, or if you want to be connected directly to a financial coach, or you have a question of some other magnitude, you can reach us at 253-593-2111 is the phone number. Again, that's 253-593-2111.
Beautiful. Well, there you have it. We got Sound Outreach and everything you need to know about Mr. James and Mr. Tim and the programs that they're providing for our community. Fellas, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate the work you're doing out there and our partnership and all the support for the task force. So great to have you. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Tamar.
Oh yeah,
great to join
man.
you today.
Definitely. Thanks you guys for coming on, hanging out with us on the corner. You know, as always, when we talk about community, you cannot forget the corners that keep them together. This is our corner. You met the team. Thanks for coming on, man. We'll see you guys next time.